Welcome back. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about DynamoDB streams. This is another feature of DynamoDB that you may encounter on the AWS DevOps Pro exam. If you do, it will probably be as a role player using an acting term in a large scenario question. So it's just good to have an understanding of what DynamoDB streams do and even how to configure them. So in the DevOps doctrine, let's go into DynamoDB streams. So many of our applications can benefit from being able to capture changes to items stored in a DynamoDB table, and specifically at the point in time when such changes occur. And I guess a correlation can be made to relational database triggers. So DynamoDB streams capture a time-ordered sequence of item-level modifications in any DynamoDB table. The catch is we just have to configure it to do so. And it stores this information in a log for up to 24 hours. So you have 24 hours to do something with this data. And we can configure applications to access this log data and view the items as they appeared both before and after they were modified in near real time. So shortly, we'll go into the management console and enable a stream on a table. And when you enable a stream, DynamoDB captures information about every modification to data items in that table. And again, there's a real-time aspect to this, near real-time. And this allows us to build applications that consume these streams and take action based on the contents. Similar to Kinesis. And you can use Kinesis to work with DynamoDB, but we have DynamoDB streams as well. So looking at our diagram, we have our application, and then we have our AWS SDK. So we have a DynamoDB web API and a separate DynamoDB streams web API. These APIs can be used by our application to communicate back and forth with DynamoDB, but DynamoDB streams as well. And here is a key point. When you communicate with DynamoDB, you need to know the endpoint for DynamoDB. Well, it is the same for DynamoDB streams. Streams also has an endpoint. Now, before we go into the management console, let's just cover a few more key points. Again, just to emphasize the point, to work with DynamoDB, you will need to access a DynamoDB endpoint. Likewise with streams, same situation. You need to access a DynamoDB streams endpoint in the same region. There's a key point. Now, you can enable a stream when you create a new table, but you can also enable or disable a stream on an existing table. This is key. Streams operate asynchronously, so you don't have to worry about performance impact if you have streams on a table. It's not going to degrade performance. And again, we're going to issue API requests through our streams endpoint. Now, a stream consists of stream records. Each stream record represents a single data modification in the DynamoDB table to which the stream belongs. Again, every modification creates a record. Final key point, all data in streams is subject to a 24-hour lifetime. So you can retrieve and analyze the last 24 hours for any given table. Data older than 24 hours is susceptible to trimming at any moment. So it's pretty straightforward what streams do. Let's go ahead and set one up. So let's go into tables. And let's go into our DAX demo table. And it really jumps right out at you. There's the button, Manage Stream. And note, stream enabled, no right now. So let's click on that. All right, so we have choices here. Do we want to stream for only the keys? We can have a stream for new image, the entire item as it appears after it was modified, old image, before it was modified, or, and note, this is the default, this is probably the safest way to go, new and old images. And again, this does not affect performance, so going all out and having a stream for both new and old does not degrade performance. So let's click Enable, and I'm going to make a little bit of room, but notice, streams enabled, yes, new and old images, and there we go. That's the ARN for our stream. That's our endpoint. To read and process data for this stream, from this point, it's the same process as for a regular table. You need to connect to the endpoint. Now, there's one other thing I want to talk about because it ties into streams. Time to live attribute, manage TTL. Now, one thing AWS launched in 2017 was the ability to set time to live attribute on your DynamoDB table items. Time to live, I'll just refer to it as TTL. So it's pretty straightforward. You just set this TTL attribute, and then DynamoDB will find and delete items that have expired. And this takes place automatically and in the background, and it doesn't affect read or write traffic to the table. So first, let's click on Manage TTL. TTL is a mechanism to set a specific timestamp for expiring items from your table. The timestamp should be expressed as an attribute on the items in the table. For enabling TTL, it's recommended you can run a preview to see samples of what will be deleted. So that's it. We basically set up TTL. And I don't want to get too deep into this. It's just good to be aware of it and what it does. And the main reason I brought it up was TTL can be rolled into your DynamoDB streams. In other words, when these items expire and are deleted, your DynamoDB streams can capture this information. Well, just remember, the same rules applies. It's a DynamoDB stream record, and it has that 24-hour lifetime. So that's a look at DynamoDB streams and how we can capture changes to our DynamoDB table. Additionally, we can set time to live attributes on our table items, and they can be automatically deleted, but also captured by our DynamoDB streams. So with that, we have completed this lesson. Thank you for joining me.